Hi you guys. Obviously in my sewing room today, I'm actually working on the sweatpants for Sew Together, but I had this idea for a while, and I think 2026 is the year that I'm gonna finally execute on it, and that is to do a fit with me video. So you've seen the sew with me's, right? Where people show you the steps on sewing something. I want to do a fit with me. I want to show you guys what I'm doing to get these patterns to fit my body. Now, obviously, what I do is not gonna be the same as what you do, but you'll get an idea of some of the things you could be thinking about doing to make a garment fit your body better. That said, we are starting with pants, okay? And pants are the most challenging thing to fit. So don't be discouraged by this necessarily, but also don't feel like you have to do this or else you can't sew the pants. That's not true. You can sew these sweatpants. They're sweatpants, okay? No one's caring if they fit super well or not. I only care because that is my nirvana. Like, I'm trying to get as good as I can possibly get at fitting. I feel like I'm really good at construction stuff. So the only thing left for me to explore and really challenge myself is with the fitting, okay? Progress over perfection, okay? Sew them. Even if they don't fit perfectly, they're just sweatpants. Okay, let's see how I fit these pants. All right, so what you will need to at least do this method that I'm doing to fit my pants is a flexible ruler like this one, pencil, scissors, obviously, and then you need a straight ruler and a curve ruler. Now this one measures 5/8 of an inch. This is what that measures. You don't have to have that. You can have any of the curve rulers and it'll be fine. But this one does make really quick work of what we're gonna do. So I am measuring out to be a 1X in this pattern. And so I am going to mark my seam allowances for the 1X. The seam allowances on this pattern are 3/8. Like that. And then this is our crotch point. It actually is right on that black line, so that'll be super helpful. Next, I want to draw in the grain line. This one has like a super small grain line, which I actually hate for lots of reasons. But we need it to be a lot longer because we're gonna use that to make sure all of our lines are straight. We are next going to draw in the crotch line all the way across. Like I said, I think it's this black line, but I just want to check it against the green line and make sure that it's as straight as it looks. Nope, it's perfect. So that's that line. And then we're going to draw in a straight line that comes down from this point through the crotch line. And again, you want it to be straight. So you can use the grain line to do that. And then this is going to be your crotch depth. I'm doing the front of the pants. So this is the front crotch depth. This is the front crotch length. And I have taken my measurements on that. I use, this is just like part of like poster board or something. It's definitely been worn and been through the ringer, but these measurements on your body really don't change that much. So if you just like wrote them down on a list, it would also be fine, but I have this little visual tool, I guess. So I want to make sure that my front crotch depth, which is again this one, matches up with mine. So my front crotch depth is 3.5 inches. And so we're getting 3.5 and just a little bit of a skosh more. So that's that. And then the front crotch length, I need 12.5 inches. But remember, we have a waistband, and the waistband, so this would be our center front once we get the waistband on. So now this whole thing needs to measure 12.5 inches. So whenever I do that and line it up with this point here and my crotch line here, 12.5, you can see that this is a little bit higher than that by like the smallest amount. So I'm not going to worry about futzing with that. This is the front of my pants, like so. Okay, so this is the back of my pants. I've already done the the crotch curve portion because that does take a little bit of like trial and error. But I took the same concept of measuring, like molding this to my body, putting this on my cut line and then drawing that out. Can you see that? Now I'm not taking in the small of my back, but I am going to follow this curve and then bring it up from there. So that's what I did there. Pretty pleased with that. And then my crotch depth in the back actually ends up being, I want to say like 1/2 inch longer than it needs to be. But again, the front was a little bit short. So this will just kind of wrap under my body a little bit more. We're going to leave it. This is my first time doing this pattern. So anytime that happens and I'm not making a muslin, the first time I make it, it does end up being a wearable muslin. And then I can make improvements and adjustments for the next version. But to do the back, again, I'm going to bust out our trusty, it doesn't have to be exact, our trusty little piece here. We're going to overlap the seam allowance by 3/8 on both pieces, something like this. Do not fall. And then we're going to measure up from the bottom, from the crotch line all the way up to the top of this, and it's reaching 17, and mine should be 13 inches. So that's quite a bit longer. So I want to reduce this by 4 inches. I mean, yeah, it does look pretty long. So if I wore it like this and this were at my waist, that would cause all the fabric to like fall down and I would have like a really low butt, but this would be fine. Does that make sense? Okay, so we're going to trust the process. This is the scary part because your brain is like, wait, does that make sense? But that's why, like with time and practice, this becomes a little bit more natural. But when you're beginning, you're just questioning everything. If this method that I'm using is feeling like super chaotic and you're like, no, this isn't working for me, check out the top down center out method from Ithaca Maven. I did a video on it once a long time ago. Jay Stern Designs on YouTube also has a lot of videos about it. You do have to make half of a muslin first. So one back leg and one front leg, which is why I don't end up doing it that much. But it was pretty magical when I did do it. If I were going to do trousers again, I would do it. But for sweatpants, I'm kind of feeling like I don't really want to make a muslin for all that. All right, so we need to draw our line, and I'm making sure that it's perpendicular to this green line that I drew in, not the black line. All right, so we are going to slash this all the way, very, very close, but not all the way through, because we don't want to change the length of the side seam. You just don't want to cut, you know, it apart. So then cut that, and then now you have this little like pivot situation. So 1 inch from here is here. So we could bring this down so we can tape that down, and then we'll just do another one above it. Okay, I have to do 2 more just like that. Okay, so now we have to true this out so that it's not jaggedy, and we can just, all right, so that's that. This going in like this is a problem, so we need to straighten this back out again. And that's gonna help with the front to back crotch length. So when I put these together, it should look like the bowl of your booty. So something like this, right? Right through where the low hip will be. That looks about right. There might be a little bit too much in here, but I will shave that away after I get it sewn. It's basically the equivalent of scooping. You know, I might be able to go on this red line and just make that a little cleaner. All right, I think that'll be fine. I don't think that's gonna affect too much. So like right through here. Okay, so that is my bowl. Overlap these by the seam allowance, and that is the shape of my undercarriage, for lack of a better term. I think that looks pretty good. I think it's definitely going to be roomy enough in the back, which is normally where I have the most problems, and then it's flat enough in the front. So do you see how that matches? Okay, pants are hard, you guys. Okay, so our pants fitting is done. That was kind of a lot, even for me. The 4 inches in the back is very abnormal. Normally I'm having to add to the back, not subtract. So that was strange, but I do think I got to a good place with them, and we'll see as I sew them up, try them on. We'll see how close I got with my alterations, but I'm feeling good about it. Hopefully it wasn't too overwhelming for you. If you are someone who is looking on focusing on fit in 2026, I encourage you to try something similar to this. Try the top down center out method. These two are really the only ones that I know, but fear not, the rest of Sew Together for the rest of the year, there's no more pants. So we will do it this one time, and then that is it. And these are very forgiving when it comes to fit too. So don't be discouraged, but if that is a goal of yours, please try this method. Let me know what you guys think about it. Ask me whatever questions you have. I'll do my best to explain it. Now it's just time to cut out the fabric and sew these up, and you will see that progress in my Sew With Me video that'll come out next. And that's going to do it for me today, y'all. I will see you all very soon. Bye.